Discriminated at the airport, but a hidden symbol revealed an incredible life-changing connection. Maya rushed through the chaotic Chicago airport, clutching her two kids, Alex and Sophia, close. The holiday travelers swarmed around them like a tidal wave, the hum of excitement a stark contrast to her tight chest. The clock ticked mercilessly, reminding her that she had just hours before her sister's wedding. Today was supposed to be about love, laughter, and celebration. But the heavy weight of her responsibilities, long shifts at the hospital, school drop-offs, and bills piling up clouded her spirit. As they approached security, a stern guard stared her down, eyebrows raised. "Ma'am, do you mind stepping aside?" he barked, his voice echoing. A knot formed in her stomach. This was not just an inconvenience. This felt personal. She caught the disdainful glare of other travelers, their eyes flicking over her, dismissive. A deeper hurt stabbed at her heart. Why was she being singled out? It was like a spotlight on her Hispanic heritage. The very thing that should be a source of pride now rendered her vulnerable. Taking a deep breath, she remembered that small eagle pin delicately affixed to her backpack. It was her father's, the one who taught her to fly high above the shadows of bigotry. He was a war hero who had faced challenges with resilience and grace. This piece of him grounded her, igniting the flame of strength within. As if feeling the weight of his support, Maya straightened her back, refusing to let the guard's scrutiny break her spirit. The bustling crowd moved in waves, kids shrieking with joy, families hugging, strangers reuniting. Yet, here she was, isolated, a lone soldier in a battle against prejudice. They walked past her like she was invisible, leaving her to wrestle with a sense of injustice. Just then, a well-dressed businessman brushed past her and hesitated, spotting the pin on her backpack. His eyes softened for a moment, and he said, "Your father?" Maya nodded, struggling to find her voice. "Yeah, he served." With that shared connection, something shifted. It felt like fate intervening. "Mine too," he revealed, his tone unexpectedly intimate. "Both of our dads sacrificed so much. It's hard to forget that in this world." In an instant, they were caught in a web of shared experiences, their heavy burdens momentarily lifted. They began to discuss the sacrifices of their fathers, one a war veteran and the other a dedicated nurse. Maya's voice was steady as she spoke of her dreams for Alex and Sophia, the hope she carried for a better life. As they debated life's inequalities, the air thick with tension, their souls clashed. They confronted not just personal biases, but the collective weight of stereotypes borne by their families. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let us continue. The world around them faded. The bustling airport just a blur as Maya's resolve crystallized. She refused to let discrimination dictate her identity or her children's futures. At a community event she had organized, she would confront the biases that challenged her, showcasing the dignity and perseverance that defined her journey as a single mother. But just as clarity surfaced, a sudden twist emerged: the turmoil of estrangement from her sister, the very one she was here to honor. Would she have the courage to mend that fractured bond amidst the chaos of her life? As tension built, Maya realized she was standing on the precipice of something monumental. She took a deep breath, her heart racing, ready to reclaim not just her dignity but the connection she desperately needed. The voices around her began to rally support, but uncertainty loomed large. Would she have the strength to confront the issues that held her back? The answer remained just out of reach, leaving a tantalizing promise of resolution ahead. Maya felt a surge of emotions as she stood there, the weight of her past threatening to pull her under. The businessman's warm gaze lingered on her, an unspoken understanding bridging the gap between them. She wasn't just a statistic. She was a mother, a daughter, and a survivor. Despite the turmoil in her heart, the connection they shared began to reverberate through the chaos. His name was Jonathan, and he was a lawyer, passionate about fighting discrimination. They exchanged stories fluidly, each revelation unraveling layers of vulnerability. Jonathan spoke of the challenges he faced advocating for minority rights, of the moments where he felt helpless against the tide of ignorance. His tales resonated deeply with Maya, reminding her of the struggles she endured. She could sense their spirits intertwining, an unlikely alliance forged in the harsh reality of the here and now. With every word, she felt lighter, as if the burdens she carried began to dissolve. "You know," Jonathan started, "it's not just about facing injustice, but acknowledging our own biases too. It's hard to confront that." Maya nodded. "I'm guilty of holding on to resentment. My sister and I, we haven't spoken in months. It's like there's this wall between us, and I'm not sure how to break it down." Jonathan leaned closer, genuine empathy radiating from him. Family is everything. Sometimes the hardest part is reaching out first. It might be uncomfortable, but that discomfort is where growth happens. His words sat heavy in the air, igniting a flicker of hope in Maya's heart. She thought of her sister, of their shared childhood memories, laughter, and tears. Yet, the rift had grown wide in recent years. The roots of conflict twisted deep, fueled by misunderstandings and assumptions. Could Jonathan's urging be the nudge she needed to take that leap? "Maybe I'm just scared," she admitted, the truth spilling from her lips. "What if she doesn't want to forgive me?" "Then at least you've tried," he replied softly. "That's all we can do, try for the people we love." Maya felt tears prick at her eyes. The airport, with its relentless chaos, faded further. She and Jonathan became cocooned in their conversation, time slipping away. She realized that they were allies in a fight much bigger than themselves, a fight for understanding and compassion. As they exchanged information, promising to stay connected, Maya's heart began to swell again. She envisioned her sister's face, the warmth of family gatherings, and the laughter that could once again echo through their lives. No more walls, just bridges. Suddenly, a voice echoed over the intercom, announcing the final boarding call for her flight. Panic washed over her as she glanced at the clock. "I have to go," she exclaimed. "Good luck, Maya." Jonathan smiled, his eyes alight with encouragement. "You can do this." With a wave, she rushed away, the thrill of possibility bubbling within her. Despite the fear of confrontation, the hope blossomed as she moved toward a chance for reconciliation. As she hurried through the terminal, her thoughts raced. How would her sister respond? Would they finally talk? The uncertainty felt both terrifying and exhilarating. But then her thoughts were interrupted by a sudden realization. As she reached the gate, she had forgotten to ask Jonathan something vital. Would he really be there to support her? Or was this moment just a fleeting connection? Questions swirled around anxiously in her mind as the familiar spiral of self-doubt took hold. Would she have the courage to confront her sister? Could she truly turn the tide toward love and understanding? The atmosphere electrified. Maya realized she was teetering on the brink of emotional upheaval. A profound reckoning awaited her, and deep down, she knew she was ready to embrace whatever came next. Maya boarded the plane with her heart racing. The weight of her fears mixed with the exhilaration of newfound hope felt almost surreal. As she settled into her seat, the hum of the engines filled her ears, but her mind was still heavy with the conversation she just had with Jonathan. The plane jolted slightly, and she gripped her armrest. "You can do this," she whispered to herself, the words echoing Jonathan's encouragement. It was time to face her sister, time to bridge that gap that stretched between them like an uncrossable chasm. As the plane ascended, she could see the world shrinking beneath her, a bird's eye view of the intricate network of roads, homes, and lives. It struck her that she, too, had been a vital part of a family that felt distant, yet she still longed to connect. The memories of her sister flooded her mind. Childhood adventures, shared secrets, and the moments that had once knit them together like strands of a precious tapestry. But that tapestry had frayed over the years. Miscommunication, hurt feelings, and unspoken words had turned warm laughter into cold silence. Was it too late to mend? The flight seemed to take an eternity. Each passing moment felt charged with the inevitability of what lay ahead. Her phone buzzed with a message from Jonathan, wishing her luck. A warmth washed over her. How was it that someone she had just met had ignited a spark of courage within her? The plane finally landed, and as her feet touched the terminal floor, it was as if she entered a different dimension. Each step felt heavier, as if gravity had transformed the air around her into a thick fog of doubt. She stood still for a moment, torn between excitement and dread. What if her sister rejected her? What if all those hopes of reconciliation came crashing down? The memories of their last words echoed unbidden in her mind, sharp like the edge of glass. Taking a deep breath, she gathered her things and moved to the exit. The terminal bustled around her, but her focus narrowed, her heartbeat thudding loudly in her ears. She pushed outside, catching sight of the familiar car that had always been her sister's. An unexpected smile crept across her face, only to be shadowed by uncertainty. As she approached the vehicle, she noticed it was empty. The realization hit her hard. She hadn't shared this moment with anyone yet. No one was there to witness her bravery or her fear. Breathing deeply, her phone buzzed again. Another text from Jonathan popped up. Remember, it's about being brave, not perfect. Right? She thought, summoning as much strength as she could muster. No perfect moment exists. This is it. With renewed resolve, she took out her phone and dialed her sister's number. Each ring felt like a countdown. What if her sister didn't pick up? But then came the familiar voice on the other end. Hello? Mia? Maya started, her heart pounding fiercely. The name hung in the air, a thread connecting them both with so much unresolved. Maya? Is that you? Her sister's tone was cautious, a reflection of the quiet rift between them. Yeah, it's me. I'm here. A moment of silence stretched between them, both afraid to reach for the words that could bridge the gap. But just then, a voice broke through her thoughts, echoing in her mind, echoing that deep, unyielding connection she had felt with Jonathan. Don't be scared, she thought, feeling the warmth of his encouragement wrap around her like an embrace. Mia, can we talk? I need to tell you how I feel. But before she could continue, a sharp gasp broke through the air. Maya, are you really there? Maya felt the heat of emotions course through her. But what she didn't expect. Maya, is that really you? Mia's voice trembled slightly, mixed with disbelief and an edge of hope. Yeah, it's me. I'm here, Maya repeated, fighting the lump in her throat. I've just landed and I wanted to see you. Can we meet? There was a silence on the other end, thick and heavy, as Maya sensed her sister weighing her options. The air felt charged, as if the moment could shatter or mend everything between them. I'm at the cafe down the street, Mia finally said, her voice regaining a bit of its steadiness. You remember it? Maya nodded, though Mia couldn't see her. Of course, I remember. I'll be there in a few minutes. As she hung up, a sense of urgency pulsed through her. With every step towards the cafe, she rehearsed what she wanted to say. How could she bridge 10 years of silence in a few mere minutes? The cafe came into view, cozy and familiar. She pushed the door open, the little bell jingling above her. It was quiet inside, with a few scattered patrons. Mia sat at a corner table, fiddling with her coffee cup, her face a mix of anxiety and surprise as she caught sight of Maya. Hey, Maya said, inching closer, trying to read her sister's reaction. Mia offered a hesitant smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. You really came after everything that happened? Yeah. Maya took a seat, her legs trembling. I thought it was time. I wanted to talk about us. There was a flicker of something in Mia's gaze, but it quickly faded. Us? What does that even mean anymore, Maya? After everything, the distance, the fight? Maya's heart lurched at the rawness in Mia's tone. It means I'm here to try. I miss you, Mia. I know things got really messed up, but I want to fix it. I want to understand. Mia stared down into her coffee, tracing circles in the foam. You don't know how hard it was. When you left, it felt like losing a part of myself. There was so much anger, and I didn't know how to deal with that. There was the truth laid bare, raw and painful. Maya shifted in her seat. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was struggling too. I thought you'd understand, but instead, I walked away. Silence fell between them, heavy with emotions. Suddenly, the cafe door swung open, and a rush of new customers spilled in, laughter and chatter enveloping the room. Maya's thoughts whirled as she tried to refocus on Mia, who looked distracted now, glancing at the doorway. Mia? She tried again, but her sister's expression shifted to something defensive, eyes narrowing slightly. It took Maya a second to realize her sister was looking at someone in the crowd. Mia, what's wrong? Mia stiffened, her voice dropping to a whisper. It's just someone I didn't expect to see. Curiosity bloomed inside Maya as she turned to look. The crowd moved, and then she saw him. A man, tall with dark hair, a familiar smile that sent her heart into a leap. It was Jonathan, stepping into the cafe, and in that moment, their eyes met across the distance, a spark of recognition igniting. "What is he doing here?" Mia asked, her voice tinted with disbelief. "I don't know," Maya murmured, her heart racing for a different reason now. "I just met him. He has someone I trust." Trust? The word hung heavy in the air, expanding the walls between them. Maya felt more than just a curiosity now, a connection weaving itself through the shared strains of their emotions. Jonathan approached, his expression shifting from surprise to warmth as he reached their table. "Maya, I didn't know you'd be here." Mia's eyes darted between them, a mixture of confusion and something else, jealousy, perhaps? As Jonathan greeted Maya, the tension at the table crackled with unsaid words. But the moment almost felt like a fracture, the kind where old wounds could resurface just as new connections are forged. And in that instant, Maya understood one stark truth. Both the past and present were colliding in ways she hadn't anticipated. "Can we really handle this?" she thought, her heart caught between excitement and fear. "Maybe it's time for us to face everything at once." But as she looked at her sister's tense features and Jonathan's warm smile, the question lingered in the air: could they all find a way to heal together? And then, the waiter appeared at their table, ready to take their orders, breaking the moment. But instead of an answer, it introduced a new tension that made Maya's heart race. Would the answer they all needed emerge from this unplanned meeting with Jonathan right there? The unexpected twist held promise, but Maya couldn't shake the feeling that the real conversation was just beginning, and she braced herself for the emotional ride ahead. "Hey, Maya, it's been a while." Jonathan's voice broke through the heavy atmosphere, and for a moment, it felt like a lifeline. He took a seat across from her, his smile bright, yet somehow clumsy against the tension surrounding them. "Yeah, it has," Maya replied, her voice barely a whisper, torn between the joy of seeing him and the weight of the moment with Mia. Mia kept her gaze fixed on the table, her fingers intertwining nervously. "You two know each other?" she asked, her tone light, yet edged with something difficult to define. "Kind of," Maya hurried to explain, looking to Jonathan for support. "We just met at a community event last week. He was really helpful." "Helped you with what?" Mia's voice had a sharpness to it, her defenses rising. "Just helping organize some things," Jonathan chimed in, trying to ease the tension. "It's nothing serious." That felt like a cover, but Maya appreciated his effort to keep the moment from fracturing further. Mia looked up finally, her eyes searching Maya's. "You always did get attached to people too quickly. Is this a good idea, Maya?" She gestured to Jonathan with a flicker of worry. Before Maya could respond, Jonathan looked at her, his brow furrowing. "Mia, hey, it's okay. I'm just a friend here to catch up. Do you know what has been going on between us?" "Between Maya and me?" Mia interrupted, her voice firm. There was a severity in her eyes that Maya hadn't seen in years, and it was terrifying. "Enough, Mia," Maya said, her own voice suddenly fierce. "I came here to talk to you, not to hide behind Jonathan or any of this." The air crackled as Jonathan leaned back, surprised by the electric vibes pulsing between the sisters. He glanced between them, recognizing that the simple reunion had morphed into something deeper, an explosive blend of pain, betrayal, and unresolved history. Juggling the weight of her emotions, Maya felt the need to pour her heart out. "I need you to understand that leaving was one of the hardest decisions of my life. I thought you would be better without me." Mia's expression softened just a fraction, but vulnerability wasn't an easy road to travel for her. "You don't get to decide what is better for me. I needed you. You were supposed to be my sister. But instead, I became a ghost," Maya admitted, her voice trembling. "I hate that I hurt you. I thought you'd hate me forever." Mia's eyes glimmered with something wounded yet hopeful. "It's not that easy, don't you see? This isn't just about you." The words hung in the air, thick with years of unprocessed emotions. Jonathan shifted uncomfortably, sensing the need for an emotional catharsis. Maybe you both need some space to speak." "I could know." "No," Maya shot back, wanting desperately for him to stay. "I don't want to do this without you." Mia's gaze bore into Jonathan, who appeared ready to bolt, as if he sensed the raw wounds and hesitations that consuming every word. "Maya, Jonathan began, but paused as he caught something in Mia's eyes. What if their reunion was meant to unravel secrets long buried? Too many moments in the past laced with resentment could converge here. Would Jonathan end up being a bridge or a barrier? In that moment, as Jonathan sat there, unsure of his role, Mia felt a rush of determination. I've faced so much in the past few years. I just want to move forward. We all deserve that chance, don't we? Mia nodded slowly, doubts still flickering in her eyes. Just then, the barista called out an order, the distraction pulling everyone's attention momentarily from the charged conversation. Jonathan took that breath, glancing at both sisters with a newfound respect. Mia sensed the room's energy shifting, a collective realization looming. Could they navigate the fragile paths of their hearts, or would the past hold them hostage forever? As tension hung thick, that single truth pulsed brightly. And when would they find the courage to confront their fears head-on? Mia felt the air shift around them, the moment charged with possibilities and uncertainties. Jonathan cleared his throat, his gaze flicking between the sisters, a silent plea for them to bridge the divide that had widened over the years. Maybe we can start fresh, he suggested softly, trying to infuse the atmosphere with hope. Mia looked at Jonathan with a cautious expression before turning back to Mia. Do you really think we can? Just undo all those years? The words were edged with skepticism, and Mia's heart sank at the thought of how much time had passed, how many opportunities they'd lost. I have to believe we can, Mia responded, desperation creeping into her tone. We can't let the past steal our future. Not anymore. The fierceness in her voice surprised even her, but she couldn't shake the urgency she felt. Jonathan nodded slowly, as if what Mia said resonated with him. You two might remember things differently, but the important part is right now. You're both here. He leaned forward, his elbows resting on the table, earnest and sincere. Maybe this is a chance to be honest, really honest. Mia exhaled, her wall still high but wavering just a bit. Honesty hurts, Jonathan. You know that. Yeah, it does, Jonathan agreed, his expression serious. But holding on to the hurt, that sometimes hurts even more. Mia took a deep breath, feeling the weight of their shared history. Mia, I don't want to repeat our old patterns. I want us to go deeper than just surface conversations. Jonathan watched them closely, a cautious optimism building in his chest. He wanted to guide them, knowing they needed something to ignite the spark of healing. As he opened his mouth to say something, the noise of a nearby group laughing pierced through. Mia felt her heart beat faster, each laugh reminding her of the joy they had once shared. Mia, what did you find in your time away? Mia's question caught her off guard, a probing look on her face. Did you learn something about yourself that could help us now? Mia hesitated, memories flooding her mind, moments of triumph mingled with regret. I learned how to face my fears alone, but I also realized that I don't want to be alone anymore. Her voice trembled slightly, vulnerability woven into her confession that a silence settled between them, deep and heavy. For the first time, it felt like cracks were forming in Mia's armor. She bit her lip, wrestling with unspoken thoughts. I think I've been angry because I felt abandoned, Mia finally admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. You weren't just leaving, you took away my sense of family. Tears stung Mia's eyes as she reached out, desperate to connect. I never wanted to hurt you. I thought I was protecting you. But all I did was push you away. There it was, the emotional truth, raw and unfiltered, hanging in the air. Jonathan remained silent, deeply moved, recognizing the pivotal moment unfolding before him. I have to know, Mia began, her voice steadier now. Are you truly ready to face whatever comes next? Together? Mia's heart raced, the sincerity in Mia's question held weight, charged with a future unknown. I am. I'd give anything to rebuild what we lost. The barista's call rang out again, but this time it blended into their shared moment, the backdrop fading into insignificance. Tension still clung to the air, but so did the promise of something new. Just as Mia reached for Mia's hand, the rush of a crowd spilled into the cafe, pushing the fragile conversation back into the realm of uncertainty. Mia looked up just as Mia pulled back slightly, unsure. Are we really going to do this? To dive into everything? Maybe, but only if we're both ready for the dive, Mia whispered back, a look of determination lighting her eyes. Mia held her breath, as Jonathan watched, feeling the urgency rise. The question lingered, would they be able to embrace their past fully to start anew? And would the world around them allow for that kind of transformation? Maya's heart pounded in her chest. The cafe felt both familiar and foreign, their haven mixed with the chaos of life outside, the laughter and chatter a sharp contrast to the deep conversation they had just started. She stared at Mia, whose brow was furrowed, looking both determined and afraid. "Okay, let us do this," Mia finally said, her voice wavering slightly, but there was a spark in her eyes. She took a deep breath, as if steeling herself for a plunge into icy waters. Maya felt a rush of hope. Maybe they really were going to talk, to unearth all those buried feelings. "Why don't you start?" Maya prompted, her heart racing. She knew that opening up would be painful, but worth it to mend the rifts that had formed between them. Mia inhaled deeply, as if drawing from a well of memories. "I think it's time I share how I really felt when you left. It was like you were the glue holding our family together, and when you went, everything fell apart." Maya nodded, swallowing hard against the emotion that surged within her. "I was trying to find myself, but I see now that I didn't realize what I was tearing apart in the process." The weight of Mia's words hung heavy between them, and Maya felt tears prick her eyes. Jonathan sat silently, a steady presence, ready with support, but choosing to let the sisters navigate this delicate path. "I resented you for leaving," Mia continued, her voice gaining strength. "I thought that you didn't care, that you'd just chosen your own dreams over us. But now, I see that it was so much more complicated than that. I was scared," Maya confessed softly. "I thought by leaving, I'd eventually learn how to come back stronger. But I never stopped missing you, both of you. I thought that meant I was strong, but really, I just ran away from the pain." Mia's expression softened at the admission. "And what about now? What do you want then, Maya?" Maya bit her lip, grappling with how to put it into words. This was at the moment she'd been both dreading and yearning for. "I want us to heal, Mia. I want to know who you are now, and I want you to know me, really know me." A flicker of vulnerability crossed Mia's face. "But what if it's too late?" "It's never too late," Jonathan interjected gently. "It's about taking small steps, one at a time. Each moment counts. We have to allow ourselves to be vulnerable." Maya glanced between the two of them, the weight of their shared experience making her chest tight. "We'll make it out together," she said quietly. "We'll rebuild this." The atmosphere felt charged, buzzing with a mixture of fear and excitement. It was as if chains were slowly loosening around them. Just then, a loud crash echoed from outside, and they all turned their heads instinctively, a sudden distraction pulling them from their vulnerable moment. A delivery truck had collided with a lamppost, and people rushed to see what had happened. Maya flinched. "This is what I'm talking about. Life just keeps throwing curveballs, doesn't it?" Mia chuckled softly, and the tension eased a little. "Guess we're going to have to be ready for surprises." Jonathan smiled, grateful to see the first hints of camaraderie. Life's about navigating the unexpected. That's where the magic happens. They turned their attention back to each other, and Maya saw a renewed sense of determination in Mia's eyes. "Let us not be afraid of this, okay? Let us start over." Maya's heart leapt. "Together?" "Together," Mia confirmed that as they locked eyes. A feeling of unity blossomed between them. But as they leaned into this newfound connection, the cafe door swung open again, sending a chilling gust of wind into the warm atmosphere. A middle-aged woman walked in, her face pinched with distress. She seemed to be searching for something, or perhaps someone. "Excuse me, have any of you seen?" Her voice trailed off as she scanned the room, desperation written all over her face. Maya felt a shift in the air. "What's wrong?" she asked instinctively. The woman's eyes filled with tears as she stepped closer. "My daughter, she didn't get through security. Something went wrong." Maya's heart raced. What could she do to help? The moment felt heavy with importance. What were they about to dive into? Would they be able to support each other not just as sisters, but as a family? And who else would need them to be strong in the face of turmoil? Maya's pulse quickened as she took in the woman's desperate expression. She could feel the weight of unspoken fears in the air, swirling around them. It was a moment that reached far beyond the cafe walls. "Can we help you?" Jonathan asked, his voice calm and reassuring. The woman, her brow tight, nodded, gripping the back of a chair to steady herself. "I was just at the airport. My daughter was supposed to arrive this morning. When I got to the gate, they told me there was an issue with her boarding pass. I couldn't even get through to find her. Maya's mind raced. She exchanged a glance with Mia, who looked equally concerned. This was a chance to be of service, to use their emotional momentum in a meaningful way. Maybe we can call the airport? Find a way to get more information, Maya suggested. Yes. The woman's eyes lit up with a glimmer of hope. That would be wonderful. I just need to know she's okay. I can't. Her voice caught, and she looked down, tears starting to spill. Maya's heart ached for her. She reached out, placing a comforting hand on the woman's arm. Let us figure this out together, she said softly. The cafe seemed to fade away around them, the sounds of coffee machines and chatter numb against the backdrop of this mother's turmoil. They gathered around a table, Jonathan pulling out his phone, while Mia leaned in, her voice steady but warm. Can you tell us your daughter's name? Maybe we can go through channels that will take us directly to someone who knows. As the woman spoke, describing her daughter's features and the outfit she was supposed to wear, Maya couldn't help but notice how each exhale released the tightly wound fibers of fear within the mother. With each detail, Maya felt a connection forming. It was as if they were sharing a silent acknowledgement of love and worry, the unmistakable bond of motherhood, of family, echoing between them. Then, the woman's voice broke. Her name is Lily. She's only 16. She's so independent, but I worry so much. Maya tried to quell the storm of her own memories, a younger version of herself, feeling lost and alone, sometimes forgotten in the whirlwind of life. You're doing the right thing by being here for her, Maya reassured. You've raised her well. Jonathan was now on the phone, speaking assertively to a representative. We're trying to locate a passenger named Lily. Yes, she should have arrived this morning. No, we need more than that. Please, this is important. Mia looked at Maya, and in that shared glance, Maya felt a shift. They were no longer just sisters trying to reconnect. They were helping to build hope for someone else, creating a bridge of understanding and compassion. Moments later, Jonathan ended the call, a mix of relief and frustration on his face. They're looking into it. Someone will call back shortly. In the meantime, we can wait with you. You're not alone. The woman took a deep breath, visibly calming. Thank you. It means so much. Just as her voice trailed off, Maya felt a swell of strength around them, a reminder of the resilience that had begun to blossom between her and Mia. They hadn't just decided to start anew with each other. They had opened themselves up to extending that kindness to others as well. Just then, the phone buzzed on the table, shocking everyone. Jonathan answered eagerly, but his expression quickly morphed from anticipation to concern. What? No, that can't be right. Maya leaned closer, her heart racing again. What news were they about to receive? What if it was good? What if it was bad? The window of opportunity was wide open, and she could feel the huge weight of moments hanging in the balance. Please, just tell us, Maya whispered, all eyes on Jonathan, waiting for the verdict. Could this unexpected twist change everything? Jonathan's breath hitched, and time seemed to stretch as he listened to the voice on the other end. Maya could see the worry etched on his face, mirrored in the mother's anxious expression. The cafe buzz shrank into an echo, making way for this moment, cloaked in suspense. The flight was delayed, but why didn't they notify her? Jonathan's brow furrowed as he spoke. Then, he paused, hearing something that shifted his demeanor. Wait, what do you mean? She was taken aside. Maya's heart sank. The mother's hands gripped the edge of the table tightly, her knuckles pale against the wood. What does that mean? She asked, almost brokenly. Mia leaned in closer, her voice a gentle whisper. Tell us what they're saying, Jonathan. We need to know. It seems. Jonathan's voice was hesitant, weighed down with the burden of conveying bad news. They say Lily was questioned due to a security issue at the gate. They're handling it. They assure us she's safe, but they need to verify her documents. Documents? The mother exclaimed, confusion and worry clashing in her eyes. This doesn't make sense. She's traveling with her passport. It's all in order. There was a helplessness in her tone that resonated with everyone around the table. Maya could feel her spirit sinking as a thought nagged at her, a nagging fear that something deeper lay behind the airport's decision. Please, the mother's voice broke. Could you ask them why? Why now? She has never had any issues before. I will, Jonathan promised, resuming his conversation, his tone shifting to become more assertive. Maya took a breath, her own pulse racing. Somewhere deep down, the familiar nervousness bubbled up, mixed with a fierce determination to not let fear overwhelm them. This was not just about Lily. It was about the looming shadows of misunderstanding and prejudice that sometimes tangled the threads of life. As Jonathan continued to talk, Maya looked at the woman, seeking to bring some sense of calm to the storm brewing inside. "What do you love most about Lily?" she asked softly, hoping to help her refocus. The woman's gaze softened, momentarily lost in thought, as if she were tracing the outline of her daughter's laughter. She is so bright. Always curious, always asking questions. I think she just wants to make the world a better place. Maya smiled gently, feeling the warmth of hope crackle in the air. That spirit will guide her, no matter what is happening right now. Just then, Jonathan's expression turned grave again. They want her to be escorted to a private room. They need to check her bag. Maya felt the urgency swell inside her chest. The words took on a weight heavier than stone. What if she hesitated, searching for the right way to express the surge of emotion? What if she is being unfairly treated? What if they don't see her as who she is? The mother looked at her, disbelief flickering across her features. I can't believe it. Not in this day and age. Mia reached over and squeezed their hands. The connection in the group felt electric, radiating strength. We need to do something, she urged. We can't just sit here. I can go to the airport, Maya announced, her thoughts crystallizing into action. We can get there faster than waiting here. We'll find her. The woman's eyes widened. But it's dangerous to go alone. Won't they stop you? Not if we stick together. The three of us. Maya felt the momentum of their collective resolve. We'd be like her family, Mia added, nodding with fierce determination. The mother finally met their gazes, her fear beginning to shift into something resembling hope. But what if I cannot join you? We'll figure it out, Jonathan said, confidence threading into his voice. We aren't leaving without her. Maya felt alive with purpose, but uncertainty still clawed at her insides. Could they really make a difference? As they scooted out of the cafe, the air felt charged with anticipation. Just remember, Maya whispered, stepping out into the bustling city street. It's vital we stand up for her. We have the power to change how people see her. Hey! Determined nod rippled through the group, hearts pounding, ready to face the unknown. But as they approached the airport, another thought seeped in, a growing worry about what awaited them on the other side of those gates. Would they be able to navigate the turbulent waters ahead and bring Lily home? As Maya, Mia, Jonathan, and the worried mother, whose name they had learned was Elena, approached the towering airport entrance, the weight of their mission felt palpable. A surge of determination coursed through them. They were no longer individuals burdened by their own struggles. They were now a collective, bonded by a shared purpose. The airport buzzed with activity. Travelers hurried by, lost in their own worlds. But for Maya, each person was a reminder of the love and unity they were fighting for. She thought of her children, her sister, and now this young girl, Lily, whose fate seemed to hang in the balance. Once inside, they rushed to the information desk. Maya approached the attendant, her heart pounding as she explained Lily's situation. We need to speak to someone about a girl who was brought in for questioning. Her name is Lily, and her mother, Elena, is with us. The attendant glanced up, a flicker of recognition in her eyes. Oh, I heard about that situation. They're currently removing her belongings from customs. Something about that statement sent a chill through Maya. She exchanged a look with Mia, who appeared equally concerned. Together they clung tighter to resolve, knowing they had to act fast. Can we please go to find her? Maya pressed, her voice steady despite the anxiety stirring inside. The attendant hesitated but eventually nodded, leading them toward a more secure area of the airport. Elena held Maya's hand tightly, her knuckles pale, yet there was a spark of hope igniting in her eyes. The weight of the moment pressed heavily on their hearts, each step a testament to their united commitment to support Lily. As they turned a corner, the muted sounds of the airport faded, replaced by a more serious tone in the air. Two airport security officers stood by a door, speaking quietly. Maya's stomach lurched. They were about to confront a situation fraught with emotion and potential danger. Wait here, Jonathan instructed as he approached the officers, brandishing a confident demeanor that belied the trepidation he surely felt. Maya watched as he engaged them, speaking earnestly. Mia and Maya exchanged a glance, a shared understanding moving silently between them. They were in this together. Elena's hand trembled in Maya's. That connection wove a thread between them. Each of them carried the burden of love, fear, and determination, igniting a fierce hope to protect those they cared for. Moments later, Jonathan returned, nodding towards the door. They'll let us in. There's a chance to talk to Lily and understand what is happening. Relief washed over Elena's face, and they all pushed forward, hearts racing. Inside the room, they found Lily sitting at a table, flanked by officers. Her face was a mixture of confusion and fear, the weight of being separated from her mother too heavy for her young shoulders. "Mom," she gasped, the tears threatening to spill. "Lily, I'm here." "We're all here." Elena rushed forward, enveloping her daughter in a protective embrace. Maya felt her own heart swelling with emotion, watching the moment unfold, a mother's love able to pierce through the most daunting barriers. As Maya stepped closer, she addressed the officers. "We're here to support her. Could you explain why she was detained?" The officers exchanged guarded glances, tension lingering in the air. The situation warranted additional questioning based on procedural checks. "She posed no actual threat, we assure you." Their tone was professional, yet Maya sensed the glimmer of empathy in their eyes. Perhaps they recognized the humanity in this moment. "We just want to ensure that she is safe and can continue her journey," Jonathan added, solidarity in his voice. The conversation grew, and it became evident that Lily had done nothing wrong. This was a miscommunication tangled in a web of procedures and assumptions. Maya subtly glanced at Mia. They were both acutely aware of the biases that could surface in moments like this, weighing familial struggles against a backdrop of societal expectations. Maya stepped forward, gently pulling Elena aside. "What do we do next? What can we say to ensure they release her without further hassle?" Elena shook her head, fear edging her voice. "I'm not sure. We just have to keep faith." With a calm resolve, Maya turned, addressing the officers once more. "This is her mother. She loves her daughter dearly and has raised her to be an upstanding citizen. It would mean a lot if you could acknowledge that moving forward." Just as she finished speaking, the officer's expression softened. "We need to ensure everything checks out." But before he could continue, Lily chimed in, her voice trembling but resolute. "I'm not a threat. I'm just trying to visit my aunt. I promise I've done everything right." Her words hung in the air, filled with earnestness. The officers exchanged a glance that looked as though something inside shifted. "Okay," one officer said, conceding to the growing tension. "Let us expedite this process." Maya's heart raced as she felt the warmth blooming within the room. Together, they stood as a shield around Lily, presenting a unified front against misunderstanding. Moments stretched, seconds turned into what felt like an eternity, as the officers made calls and discussed protocols. Tension faded like fog under the morning sun, and finally, one of the officers said, "All right, we'll release her to her family with a warning not to travel alone in the future." Cheers of joy erupted in the room, an overwhelming wave of relief. Elena hugged Lily tightly, tears streaming down her cheeks, but this time they were tears of triumph. Maya's heart swelled, resonating with pride not just for Lily, but for their collective strength. Yet as they moved toward the door, a sense of purpose burned bright within Maya. This experience was a reminder of how deeply they could connect when faced with a challenge. Out in the main terminal, laughter and excitement flooded around them. Maya, Mia, Jonathan, and Elena formed a circle of connection, a tight-knit gathering amid a world that often felt chaotic. Mia spoke softly, breaking the celebratory atmosphere. "Thank you for pushing me to be here. This was just as much about us as it was for Lily." Maya smiled, her heart radiant with possibilities. "We can make a difference if we're brave enough to fight for what's right." In that moment, they not only reclaimed their familial bond, but they also forged a deeper connection, all united in the spirit of compassion and love. As they were leaving, Jonathan reached for Maya, curiosity in his eyes. "This was incredible to witness," he said, excitement lighting his expression. "You have such strength. The world needs more people like you." Maya felt herself blush. "We all have strength. It just takes the right moment to unleash it." With hope renewed and connections rejuvenated, they stepped into the bustling world outside, ready to embark on their next chapters filled with love, understanding, and the courage to embrace their growth together. Now, you need to act. Subscribe immediately to the channel so you won't miss the next exclusive stories. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm. It seriously makes a difference. Comment below with your feelings about this emotional ending. And you must share this video instantly with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. Don't wait not even one more second to show your immense support for this channel. Only true fans know how vital your actions are.